ball fake, shot up and no good, tipped away, Noles win, FSU defeats number 1 Duke, 66-61, Florida State stuns number 1.
You've heard his voice before. You've even seen him on TV. Gene Deckerhoff is the one and only voice of the Florida State Seminoles. He has 37 years under his belt from announcing Noles basketball games. However, his love of the sport came much earlier.
I went nowhere without my basketball. And I dribbled up. I must have drove the neighbors crazy, dribbling that basketball up and down the street. There's a place out there in my backyard where grass would never grow because I just wore the grass out.
He continued to dribble the ball from his early years to high school and then college.
I went to high school, obviously, played basketball in high school, started All-City Jacksonville for 1 year, and happened to score 32 points in a ball game with a couple of junior college coaches watching, and I was offered a scholarship and played junior college basketball.
While shooting hoops in college, Gene was passed with an opportunity he couldn't say no to at a local radio station. That's when he dribbled his way to the microphone.
And they fired the news director, had nobody that knew basketball. And so I said, well, I know basketball. And that was 1966.
Gene not only calls the shots over the airwaves for basketball, but he's known for announcing Noles football as well.
When I came to Florida, I immediately heard his voice, heard his work, liked his work, would listen to Seminole games on Saturdays.
Many who listen to Gene and work with them say he is one of a kind.
Gene has a couple of expressions that I've not heard anybody else use. One is whirling dervish. And the other thing that he loves to talk about is get your cameras out, it's highlight time.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 3-point shot, Nicholas, no good! Noles beat the Terrapins for the first time since 1993.
That he's an original. He's not a guy that you can listen to and say, well, you know, he sounds like this guy. He sounds like Gene.
Good snap, good hold. Here's the kick. He's got the distance. He's got the distance. It's good! It's good! Noles beat Clemson.
He has the ability to, in the course of a game, whether it's a huge game, whether it's a blowout, to make you feel like you're listening to a friend or listening to somebody you trust.
Gene has seen it all when it comes to basketball. One of his greatest memories comes from a game that happened just a few years back.
Into the corner goes Lewis, shoves it out the Greer. 2 on the shot clock, 3-pointer, good!
It's not an easy task being an announcer. Although Gene has been in the game for a long time, there is no way he can play without first preparing.
Can't just wing it, as they say. And for a basketball game, you're looking at about 6 to 7 hours. You're watching video, you're doing coaches' interviews, you're watching interviews on television, or you're reading, constantly reading.
Gene believes he has his dad to thank for a push into the broadcasting world.
I listen to an awful lot of radio thanks to my dad. On his picture at Mineral Ridge High School, the inscription underneath that says, will have a great career in radio. My dad never got into radio. His son did.
The Noles share Gene's time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but his true love remains in Tallahassee.
I'm a Florida State Seminole through and through, garnet and gold, and my favorite team is Florida State University, period, bar none.
For the Leonard Hamilton Show, I'm Tarhaun Russ.
Sorry about that. Noles win!